Get go.
Chino and Bank.
Chino and Bank.
Chino and Bank. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hey,
What do you
Chino and
think?
Bank. Misinformation.
Hey.
Misinformation.
Misinformation. Yo, I've been thinking this the whole time. That's our intro now. Fuck the Joe Rogan music. Fuck the Joe Rogan music.
If it sounded good.
No, that sounded good.
Chino and Bank.
No
Fucking
more.
live, goddamn. We'll do it live, goddamn it.
Chino and Bank.
Yeah, I forgot. I was about
Fuck
to
what you think.
Yes, sir. Daniel, get in the podcast. As you can see, I'm rocking 21.
Oh yeah, 21.
It's a 21 podcast. Shout
I
out
missed
to you.
it.
Football season, it's all good. Football season's right around the corner. That's such a good feeling, too.
Yeah,
We were just talking about football, man. Denver in the house.
My boy.
Mr.
We got
Wilson.
Denver Wilson.
Fun fact about Mr. Denver Wilson: the basketball that they use in the NBA is actually named after him.
Wilson.
Wilson.
Great movie references, too. Or
Yeah.
one, at least.
What movie?
What are you talking about? You serious?
Wilson.
Castaway.
What is Castaway?
Shut up. You
It's
being
the
for
way
real?
He like wrote a face on a ball.
You've never seen
because he was
Castaway?
lonely.
No, actually.
It was like what, Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it's, I mean, like...
Oh, here we go again.
Tom Hanks is a pedophile.
Only
and all that.
white people know movies.
Tom Hanks is a...
I don't know. That's the only
But
one
you
I
know that.
No,
Because
no, no.
I've seen.
Yeah, Castaway's a famous-ass movie.
I've never watched Pulp Fiction.
I never seen it.
Have you ever seen
Okay.
Pulp Fiction?
No.
Castaway's a sick movie. Tom Hanks is a pedophile, but he's still a great actor. I respect his acting.
Is he?
I don't know, maybe.
I'm pretty sure he's
Maybe.
in real life too.
He's gonna sue us.
He's probably not, dude. I'm just saying he won't, because
Man.
we know some things. Jeffrey Epstein knew some things.
Whatever kickback you get off this better be gone, man.
It's all good. Hey, like and subscribe. I said it the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
That was the first time I said it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Last time we asked you to comment something like your favorite colored skin tone, I think was the question, right? What's your favorite colored person?
Oh yeah, what's your
You
favorite
asked
race?
it?
It was a.
Well, I said, what's your
comment
favorite
race?
I said, what's your favorite color? I think Daniel said it was like a bad question, and I was like, what's your favorite colored person?
It's even worse question.
That's a good question.
No, not counting white people.
Oh,
Like I would
okay.
say, like
White isn't a color.
I would say Asian people, like Eastern Asian people, like yellow people. Some people would say yellow.
Some people would say yeah.
I wouldn't say yeah. Some people would say yellow.
I like more like yellowish
Yeah.
brown people.
But,
like,
alright.
like Malaysian.
And but to backtrack to what I'm saying, just to make it real quick, Wilson was a Tom Hanks movie. He crashes on a plane. He like works for FedEx or some shit. He crashes on a plane for work into this deserted island. Everyone dies except for him. Now he's on an island. It's a sick movie because of that.
Uh-huh.
But then eventually he finds like in packages a fucking volleyball, a Wilson volleyball. And at one point he like cuts his hand, grabs it, and throws it, and he notices it has it's like a handprint, and he draws a little smiley face in it, and he named him Wilson, and it was his best friend, like the whole movie. She was
That's
sick.
so dumb.
No, it's.
That's so weird.
I really like Castaways. Castaways my favorite time.
No. You just went from landing on a deserted island, losing everyone like.
Well, we brought up Wilson,
and then he finds a volleyball, bro.
He finds other
movie
shit
for
too.
autistic people. What the
he
fuck?
found some other shit too.
Shouts out to all the autistic people.
Yeah,
To the
for
autists, they like being called autists.
To all the people with disabilities, we love
That them,
Okay.
yeah, all of them.
Shouts out to y'all.
All of
Holding it down. We appreciate y'all.
Alcoholism too, even that one.
Yeah, people who have alcoholism.
'Cause
That is a
alcoholism-
disability.
And
It's a
recovering
disease.
alcoholics.
It's
a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep strong.
Keep strong, headstrong. But yeah, now I'm backtracking again because it's football season. This man Denver, as y'all know, he's a Denver Broncos fan.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah, did you do that on purpose? Is your family Broncos fans? I don't know why I just made that fucking connection. in my
Nah,
head.
it's all Commanders fans, or Redskins
that's
fans.
how my
but-
family's all
Yeah.
Redskins.
Whole time
You fuck with the Redskins then?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I fuck with the Redskins.
But by the time I was like old enough to realize that I'm supposed
They
to be a
were
Redskins
ass.
fan, I've been a Broncos fan this whole time. Like we've been through Kyle Orton,
Kyler was a dog.
Jake Plummer,
Brandon Lloyd and Kyle Orton.
Jake Plummer,
Jake
bro.
Plummer. He's the OG of when we grew up, right?
all that.
Yo,
yeah.
I'm hip. I'm
So
Peyton
Yo,
Manning.
I liked Kyle Orton.
yeah, that was after the fact.
Jay
but
Cutler
yeah.
was some booty, but Kyle Orton was tough. He was inconsistent, but he was tough. Kyle Orton.
Donovan.
So
McNabb.
what made you a Broncos fan then? Just be like you were young, you just picked them, like Madden.
Denver.
Yeah.
So it was your
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm a
tough.
Nuggets fan too.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
say I was a Nuggets fan. 'Cause I
Oh.
like
But I'm like an Orioles.
I was
fan.
like, what?
Same.
I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Same.
You have Nuggets
That's-
in your name.
So that's funny because I'm a Chargers fan, not because my name is San Diego or Diego or anything, but it was just like I fucked with them as a little kid. But then I became a Lakers fan too, really, because it was just like around both same logo. But I'm also I would say I'm an Orioles fan. So that's just funny, and it's funny because it's the same division.
when it comes to the teams that we have here, I feel like I'm a fan of all of them.
Fuck the Ravens, to be honest.
Like I would say I'm as much of a.
You fuck with the Ravens?
I don't have a Ravens jersey.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the Ravens.
Nah.
But all right, for
Me and Denver got
for
very
baseball
similar.
at
We got
least,
still like several just AFC West.
for baseball at least, I fuck with both the Nationals and or like I'll go to both games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fuck with. I don't really fuck with the Nationals.
I'll root for them if they ain't playing.
Yeah,
the
I've never
Orioles,
gone to a
but-
Nationals game. I would never go to a Nationals game. I don't really.
Really?
I don't know, but I am a Commanders fan. I mean, Redskins fan. I don't go. I'd be saying Redskins. That's like the first time I've actually.
The Skins,
I'm
bro.
a Skins
The
fan.
Skins.
They should be the Pigskins, bro. For real, for real. Red Hogs.
That was a
Should be
fire
wrong.
name. I don't know why they.
And the logo, the Redskins logo. Let's be honest, like that's
hard.
that's one of the toughest NFL logos of all time.
Yes,
circular
the Indian
side
head.
profile. Like that's one of the hardest logos of all time. Like my whole family's Redskins fans, so I fucking love the Redskins.
We've said this before, but like that shit doesn't make sense. How like I feel like they say it was like misrepresenting or something, like being like racist or whatever they said, but like they were literally they're warriors on a field.
Yeah,
and the,
I mean,
the Redskins, the Indians were warriors in the field.
And like honestly,
it's not like you're paying homage to them.
Another
more
thing is
than
like
anything.
the only thing I ever saw like online during the time were like articles about them going to local like actual Native Americans and people who had like derived from like actual
And they don't
chief,
give a fuck.
and they like or they supported it.
Yeah.
And they were
Like,
and
that's why I'm a Redskins fan.
Yeah, and they did surveys and they said that like the sports thing like this when the fans did that they're like that's one thing that we find maybe slightly more offensive if anything,
Uh-huh.
and that's something the Redskins didn't do. That's something like FSU.
What is that?
The fans will go like FSU, the Florida State Seminoles. They're like
I was gonna say,
they
yeah.
do that shit like oh it's like a
But the
tomahawk thing and a chant.
Oh,
The
okay,
Seminoles are, if I'm not mistaken, they're actually like partnered with the Seminole tribe.
Yeah,
in
that's
Yeah, they
Florida.
do shit.
Yeah,
that's
so
sick.
Like the reason the school is
That's
up is
sick.
because of them, right?
Yeah, when they do home games, homie rides out on a horse
Yeah.
and they throw the spear in the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
And
So that's what I'm saying. They're paying homage. To,
Yeah, they're
I
paying
feel so.
homage.
The Redskins could have taken a
Yeah,
different.
Dan
approach.
Snyder
Exactly.
was just the owner.
Exactly.
right?
So instead of just
Well, he's the worst owner ever.
like changing the name, they could have like, all right, we're gonna actually bring out some Native American people, and now like kind of taking the FSU approach.
They
They would have been
should've.
fine. We would have still been the Skins.
well, they did that for baseball. The Cleveland Indians are now the Guardians. You know that?
So
I don't know
great.
shit much about baseball, but
They're the same logo.
no, it just
no,
has
that
Guardians
one
with a
was a
G.
little fucked.
That
up,
one's
though.
whack.
Yeah, that one was.
But the logo.
The logo. He had like a big nose, and he
Okay.
was like.
Yeah, the logo was.
He was looking
All right,
like.
I will say that
they had him looking
It's
down
it was
crazy, like-
satirical. Like, it was like he had
alright.
like a varsity red skin, big ass nose. I think he just looked crazy. It was very satirical and probably from like old cartoonish
Okay.
shit. But
Like that.
benefit of the doubt, that logo was hard as fuck.
Wasn't.
It was like a classic baseball logo, wasn't it? Like, I
I think I mean
the Indians thing. I'm not looking it up.
Alright.
I'm not looking it up.
It's alright.
Oh man.
And I went to Cleveland to the
Sorry.
Chargers. I went to the Chargers Browns game.
What do y'all think?
Leave a comment. You
Yeah,
think
yeah,
racism
what-
is
what do you-
aight?
What do y'all think? We're trying to figure out what our demographic is here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
That's not. I mean,
I
that
can
is
see
like.
it. It's
it is like a
satirical. You can tell it's like a
comic version.
satirical
Yeah.
and racist almost. Yeah, I get it.
It
His
is
nose wasn't what I remember.
Yeah, the Redskins wasn't. The
Well-
Redskins logo literally looked like it could be a penny, like a hard ass.
That's
old
just
school
as a penny. The
like
color
a
and it's real
card.
color. It was realism color.
Yeah.
I think when I went to Cleveland for the Chargers Browns game, like for one, Cleveland was like an OD sports town, like baseball, football, everyone was out. There's billboards, basketball billboards and shit. But I was asking the Uber drivers about baseball, and a couple of them, they're like, yeah, they're the Indians. They're like everyone, they're the Indians. We just pretend they're the Indians still. Like, I thought that was funny. I was like, that's kind of what I do. The Commanders. That's like the wackest football team name ever,
That is
in
pretty
my
good.
opinion.
Yeah, they could
don't
have done
command
anything.
shit.
Yeah.
Should have went
they
Red
don't command
Hogs, bro,
shit.
because they could still been.
I liked Armada. That was just me,
Oh,
though. That sounds
no.
corny, too, when
I
you
don't
say it
know.
out loud.
Armada sounds like a European football team name, like the Admirals, the Admiral.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Dukes.
Armada's a Spanish.
They should have been the Bullets.
The Wilmingtons.
Wasn't that Washington Bullets before?
Yeah,
They should have
it
changed
was,
the name
It was
back
Baltimore
when we-
Bullets, then Washington Bullets, and then it became Washington Wizards.
Oh, it used to be Baltimore Bullets
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
All right. See, they
Sick.
both could have worked. I was about
I
to
got a
say they
Bullets
should have
hat.
changed the name of
Bullets is a
the
tough name, bro.
Washington Wizards back to Bullets when the DC Sniper happened. They should have named themselves
The Chargers
That's
are a tough
crazy.
sports name, bro. The Chargers, because they just like, what is a Charger?
You charge at
Phone
someone.
charger.
You charge at someone.
A Charger.
You charge forward, yeah.
Yeah, that shit's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I guess Broncos are classic.
Yes, sir.
When did you guys adopt the lightning? Has it always been lightning?
I mean, their original logo in 1960 was a horse with like a horse emblem logo, like one of those shields, but there was like a lightning bolt behind the horse.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Do they ever bring that back on
Sometimes.
like old school
Yeah,
jerseys?
something to put on the field and shit.
That's tough.
Chargers.
I like your shirt, Denver.
Hey, thank you.
Shit's hard. I haven't done acid in a long ass.
You said that was a wrestling shirt, like a company.
Oh no, this is
Or
who
is that
Flatbush
hat?
Zombies is.
Oh, that's Flatbush.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a
okay.
shirt from
Was
them.
that the hat you were talking about?
Yeah, this is.
Oh, you're rocking full Flatbush Zombie.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
an
a merch.
NWO hat.
Not this though. Yeah. They
The
got a
shoes
little-
are Flatbush Zombie.
Nah, this is some. What's this? Adidas or whatever. Not Adidas. I don't even know what this
It's
is.
Yeah,
Under
so you-
Armour.
Under Armour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of wrestling? Like wrestling, like real wrestling, or like entertainment wrestling?
It's a flat. It's like entertainment wrestling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want to go watch it. You know,
Y'all still be watching it? You ever watch it still?
I'd be watching old like
All the time.
WWF stuff
On YouTube,
because
I do.
just how
Yeah.
crazy it is.
Yeah, I watch it on YouTube all the time, but
Just-
sometimes I'll see Raw or like AEW. Like
I can't watch the new
and
stuff.
yeah, it's depressing. It's like a quarter of the people there, like the pops. There's like no loud like.
There's no racism and misogyny.
Yeah, there was
going
no.
on.
Yeah, like I just remember seeing a tweet recently on Twitter. It was like Triple H came out like DX and
Y'all
shit,
crazy.
and the girl was out in the crowd, and he's like, yeah, show me your titty. And she flashes her shirt with just her bra still on, and he's like, no, and she flashes her tits, and he's like, yeah. Like I'm like, dude,
Yeah, see,
I
that
like
would
sent
never
it.
happen
Yeah, like
now.
I sent it to like Mark and them on Twitter. I'm like, yo, this is like peak WWF shit.
Nah,
bro.
they just needed straight roided up dudes, straight buffoonery.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to be in it. You don't
Just-
need to think of these complex storylines.
Most of them were
Just
idiots. Just
make
Oh,
it entertaining.
It's an art
like,
form, like go full embodiment. Like I just watched again the classic Undertaker Mankind Hell in a Cell match, bro, where he falls on the tacks at the end. They throw him off the cage like twice.
Was
like,
that Undertaker or was
it,
that
it was Undertaker and
Stone Cold Steve Austin?
no, I think Undertaker may have fought Stone Cold Steve Austin in Hell in a Cell before that or something.
True.
But Undertaker, no,
I meant
the
Mankind and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Nah,
Because who threw him off of the?
Undertaker.
Oh, it was
I guarantee it.
Undertaker,
'Cause I had it on
okay,
tape
yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day, but I just
Okay,
watched
yeah,
it
yeah.
again. It was definitely Undertaker. It
Threw
was
him all the way off
off
onto
rip
the
in the
table,
beginning of the
yeah,
match.
onto the table.
Yeah, in the beginning of the match,
Shut
and
up.
they tried carting him off, and he comes back. Like it was like a 5-10 minute delay in the match, and Undertaker's just standing on the top of the cage, like all like
menacing.
yeah, and the cage is like almost falling through. But no, that match is insane, bro. Like
What's the fight
don't
where
see it.
Undertaker comes out from the middle of the like?
there was one back in the day in like the 90s. He literally ripped through the joint.
Yeah, I'm
That was
talking
when he had
about
like
that one.
purple gloves. Like that was like old Undertaker.
That shit was crazy. I remember
You
that.
remember-
That was in the '90s. That was in 2000s. Man.
He may have done it again.
I remember watching
but I remember the OG one. Like Undertaker was scary.
Undertaker Kane combo.
Yeah.
They were,
it
like,
came
hits
with
his
the
bro.
mask.
Yeah,
they're
real
brothers
mask.
and shit. Yeah.
He had like the one arm sleeve and like it was
with
like
the
OG
mask, yeah, with the
Yeah,
red
with the
mask,
mask,
yeah.
yeah,
That
like the
Kane
OG
was
Kane.
bars,
Him,
bro.
yeah.
The organ music, like the OG.
What was the motherfucker? I don't know if he was in WWE, but some guy that would eat worms.
Oh, the Boogeyman.
The
Boogeyman,
Boogeyman.
yeah.
He was in the
Yeah,
same
I was
time,
like
right?
obsessed with WWE back in the day. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
There was a
Boogeyman.
scary motherfucker.
Rey Mysterio.
I have a Rey
Shout out
Mysterio
Rey
shirt. I wore it
Mysterio.
last week on the podcast.
Booyaka.
You remember I was wearing the Rey Mysterio shirt on the podcast?
Was it a Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, it was a black tee with Rey Mysterio on the front.
Rest in peace, Eddie Guevara.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Yeah, I messed it up.
Guevara.
but-
I was like, I don't know that
Fucked
guy.
up. Rest in peace.
How you gonna
to
say
him.
That
rest
was
in-
insane.
How you gonna say rest in peace to someone fuck up
That
name?
was
There's probably somebody.
That
out
was
there.
peak.
Somebody that died named Eddie
Rest in peace to
Guevara.
them, too.
yeah, there definitely is a guy in here.
I hope
right?
they're doing well, man.
Yo, that's some real
I-
shit. Denver's a good guy, bro.
If you're family with them, hit my line. I got you.
Yeah.
Number here.
Yeah.
Number
Put the
there.
number up.
Denver,
I got
Denver's
you.
actually my therapist, man.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Put the number up for him.
What would y'all say? So, what do you think was like the greatest wrestling matches of all time?
Gracefully? Ah, that's crazy.
It's a hard
Anywhere
question.
where CM
I haven't-
Punk was flying off the,
No.
or no, Jeff Hardy was flying off the top of the cage.
I have another one other than
Don't matter.
Probably when the Undertaker lost his WrestleMania streak.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that to
To who?
like Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or some shit? I
Probably
never. I stopped
Brock
watching it
Lesnar.
at the time.
It was Brock Lesnar.
I stopped watching it at the time.
Brock Lesnar.
Really?
beat him.
That's the greatest match.
I
of
don't
all
like
time?
Brock. It has to be because it was kind of the end of the era. It showed it as
Okay.
like
so it's like as a figure.
because the Undertaker's probably one of the goats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just for like
definitely.
you
have
know,
to.
you know, so for him to be dethroned in that way,
Yeah.
I just hate who they, you know. who
Damn,
let-
that's
who
an
let do
interesting
it to
answer.
him.
I wasn't watching it at the time, but I remember when that shit happened. Everyone was Undertaker.
That's
lost
what
his
I'm
thing.
saying. You cannot be watching and
Yeah.
hear it happen.
Yeah.
How many
knew.
wrestling matches can you say that about?
Yeah, exactly. That just happened. I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
famous.
you just know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good point. I guess I was gonna go out like old school. Remember there was like a 3-way ladder match, TLC match with there was the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah, Edge,
I feel like I
and he
remember
speared
that.
he
They're on the
speared the
cage,
mess
right?
out of him.
While
Yeah.
he was
What was
hanging.
the like when they first introduced Money in the Bank? When it was
Yeah.
like the Hardy Brothers going for it. Shit, that shit
Shelton
was
Benjamin,
hot,
y'all
bro.
remember that dude? Shelton Benjamin was a beast in that joint. He would go ham. I forget what the original.
Who?
He was
I don't remember that name.
Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin and
This is
Charlie
not-
Haas.
Whose man's is that?
Charlie Haas.
You
and
got
Shelton-
2 first names,
No.
Shelton Benjamin.
You remember?
Shelton.
It was a black and white dude. They were like brothers, and they wore wrestling singlets, like purple ones, and they were tag team matches. Like it was Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. You don't remember that shit?
Nah.
Damn.
They was like that?
Not really. They were just like
Oh.
fill-ins and lose to like good, better ones.
Oh,
but like
no, get 'em
Shelton
outta
Benjamin
here.
went off in the Money in the Bank back in the day.
They're good for the culture, but get them out of here.
Yeah, right.
Remember Chris Masters?
Yeah,
Chris
the
Masters?
Master Lock.
The
joint?
Master Lock.
Yeah, the Master Lock. That's
I
a
used to
real
put-
lock.
Yeah, I used
Yeah,
to
it's
put
a full
everybody
Nelson.
in
He
that
just
shit.
puts him in like a full Nelson, right?
It
Like a
is,
half Nelson.
basically.
I forget if he goes like this or not. I forget.
They're both. Yeah, you're both behind.
I
Like,
guess but he like crosses more.
he would do some gay shit. Like, yeah.
And I liked, what was
Someone
his
come out here. I'm
name?
gonna put you in a Master Lock.
Homie, what, Moondust?
Moondust from back in the day.
When
Like,
Moondust pulled up, you knew it was real.
like you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Gold Dust.
Gold Dust.
Gold Dust.
Who the
When
fuck
Gold,
is that?
Gold Dust, right?
he was a weird.
scary.
He was
when I was a little
weird.
kid, he freaked me out.
He was weird. He was like
I think he's
gold.
like the first transgender ever.
He wasn't though. He was like gold.
Yeah.
But he was just weird. Like he's supposed to be like a mythical.
Yeah, and he'd come out like sometimes he had
So, like,
long blonde
Boogeyman
hair
and shit?
Yeah,
Not
but
serious.
like
from another like a galaxy. He was like an alien. He was like an
Sure.
alien.
but like a weirdo. But when he pulled up, he had
He
like,
had, like black lipstick on.
He,
Him and
like, he
Booker
would-
T together. Were funny.
he would call some shots though. Like,
Yeah.
When he pulled up, like
I think that was the dude who played him was fucking Dusty like one of the Rhodes like family members. One of Dusty Rhodes
Lana
and Eddie
Rhodes.
Rhodes, and yeah, Lana Rhodes.
maybe
So you be
through marriage.
I wanted to talk about. You said you be doing jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's sick. So you're trying to bring WWE and jiu-jitsu together and become like you're trying to become a professional wrestler.
No, but I would like to compete at a higher level.
Yeah,
down
like
You
the
said
line.
you're trying to get into a tournament.
Yeah, regionals. You can sign up for those at any time.
Yeah.
Like it's not you're not winning.
But
any money.
a white belt can win that shit. I seen that on
Yeah.
YouTube. Like I seen that on YouTube. Literally, like white belt wins tournament BJJ tournament. Like,
Yeah, like little stuff. You can sign up for bigger tournaments. They got like IBJF tournaments and AC tournaments. Like
You ever seen that video of that? It was like it was a BJJ
Abu Dhabi.
tournament of it was a little girl going against like an older woman, and the little girl submits the older woman.
Oh,
and,
she like pushes her.
yeah, she like pushes her off.
Yeah.
She's like, when I tap, you have to get off to like the fucking
Yeah,
9-year-old. She
yeah.
was sick as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious. Have you ever seen some shit happen like that?
no, the
Some
thing
stuck-up
is the
That's
ref
so
didn't
dumb.
stop it. So
Yeah.
with the tap, like
It's on the ref more.
like
than
you can respect it, let go, and be like she tapped, but
Uh-huh.
it avoids the whole like
Yeah, you never.
Oh,
yeah,
like, I
Like the
didn't
ref
tap.
didn't see it.
100%, bro. Like I don't know. I'm not. I've never. I did Taekwondo.
I guess it was
It's
just
sparring in
fucking
Taekwondo,
good,
but
bro.
there was no like KO or finish them in Taekwondo. There's no finish, but like, at least when I was sparring. But like there was fucking like I don't know. I just feel like if you went to like knock someone out, like in UFC, like those motherfuckers get mad. Like Sean O'Malley's a good example of a recent one I can remember where he came down at the end of that joint like, ow,
yeah.
and everyone was like that. Some
Oh,
people
the
were
last like hammer fist.
Some people were like that was uncalled.
Izzy
for.
did that shit to Pereira
Bro,
too.
it's
though.
not uncalled for in my opinion.
Yeah, until the ref says stop. then
Yeah,
it's,
because like you just said, there has literally been times like that where it becomes like, oh shit, did he tap?
and the other person might even win
recover.
sometimes.
Yeah, they recover. I mean, it's at the highest level.
Yeah, some of the greatest fighters, I think Tony Ferguson, that motherfucker would get dropped and like roll back, and like in some fights you would think the ref would be like, oh, he was slumped. No, but Tony would like roly-poly away, and by the
Yeah.
time he's done, he's back
back.
too.
He's got his
and it's
hand
like,
back.
okay, hold on, ankle break.
Yeah.
like that's some real shit.
No, for real, man.
I don't know, that's why I fuck with UFC, and the rep, that's like, that is one of those sports, you were just talking about how earlier before, I think it was before we were recording though, you were talking about how football is like big on coaching. I guess
UFC,
it's big on
yeah.
refing too.
Well, yeah,
Coaching.
you definitely
And
need a
coaching.
corner. You need a
You
corner.
need a corner, but and also like refereeing is can be
Important.
so
Pivotal.
error. Like
People can die.
yeah,
People
yeah.
can die.
The UFC's never had a death yet though. The UFC.
No, they had some people get severely
Hurt
Fucked
though.
up.
Yeah, like
The one they fired a ref. Like I was just watching a video about that.
The
Like,
Asian dude maybe got
nah, it
fired.
was some white guy where it was like some fight where they had some dude in a choke for like the longest time, and like he just kept like going like this, and bro is literally like
Yeah.
at this point like it even got to the point where he locked back up, so it looked like he was like using force to try to get out, but he was literally locking up from like
Yeah.
he was seizing, bro, and then they let him go, and that dude got like he's never been in the UFC again.
Yeah.
I think that might have been PFL, if I'm not mistaken, but he lost. Like after that, he eventually woke up, but he in the hospital, but he didn't have control of his right arm.
That's
Damn.
insane. Like,
Yeah, because the ref was at the bad angle. But see, that's the problem with these refs. I believe that these refs need to have some sort of martial arts pedigree.
Yeah, like what's his name?
Yeah.
Like Herb, like
Herb
Dean.
Dean is a black belt. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, if you watch one championship, there's a lot of black belt refs. They know what they're watching. And so if somebody's in a compromised position, they know when to look harder
Yeah,
or
right.
when to ease back.
You have to
Exactly.
understand real ground control, especially when because it is a lot of times it'll be like chokes situations and chokes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%. Damn. So like, have you done a tournament before? Is this gonna be your first tournament?
It would be.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
It
It's so
would be.
exciting shit. So right now you've rolled around with a lot of people in your gym, right?
Yeah, it's all been
How many
sparring
days
in the
you
gym,
done?
classes,
What was it called again?
second gear jiu-jitsu.
Second Gear Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
Shout out,
Yeah,
if y'all
definitely.
are
If
interested.
you're in the DMV and you need some jiu-jitsu, go second gear jiu-jitsu. Kenneth Brown, certified black belt, great guy. He'll take good care of you.
Sounds tough.
But yeah. So you said how often?
Mm-hmm.
I've been on and off. I need to get back on it more. But when I'm in my bag, the 3 classes, and on the Saturday it's a double.
So like
Double
4 or 5
class.
sessions a
Yeah,
week.
4 or 5 sessions a week. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you can
Yeah.
be in-
That's
that's
Like
really
when I'm
in
in
your
my
bag.
when I'm in my bag, that's when I'm.
Is there any like really good or any like successful like fighters or jiu-jitsu artists over there right now that do tournaments?
Oh yeah, we have a few black belts. We have Jock. I wish I could tell his whole name.
Yes.
Jock. He won.
Guerrero.
He maybe. I doubt it though. But he's a black belt. He won Pan Americans. Ken Brown, our instructor. I'm sure he has a good tournament pedigree. I haven't looked into it too
That's
much.
sick.
We have a few other black belts. I've rolled with him a few times. I only met him a few times. When I remember his name, I'll shout him out. And then we also have some really good purple and brown belts. Like, because once you hit purple belt, like, you're your own fighter. Like, purple belt, you're good on the ground.
You know everything.
Yeah,
This
but
is
there's
how
levels
good-
to that. Yeah, there's levels to that. The white and blue is when you're really trying to figure out your game.
There's only 4 belts.
White, blue, purple, brown, then black.
5.
And then you can get
That's
Don's.
second degree,
yeah, on
third
the black
degree, yeah.
belts, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Jiu-jitsu sick.
Yeah, man.
Have you ever gone to? You were telling me in the car that you wanted to like do like striking. Have you ever been to at least one like striking class?
Nah, I need to though. I know there's a lot of good striking gyms here. Obviously, the boxing gym in Laurel.
Mhm.
Got a few professionals out of that gym. There's also Muay Thai out if you go to Montgomery County, a few that I've seen. So it's really about picking the art.
They don't do. Wait, so second gear is straight jujitsu.
Straight jiu-jitsu, we have striking courses, which is more like MMA adapted striking.
Okay.
But for me, I would want to focus on a particular art,
Yeah.
and then work on that, and then blend it. That's just my style.
What got you into it? Like, was it just you ran into it type thing? You've always been interested in like UFC type shit, MMA or what?
Judo, when I was a kid, always interested me.
Judo's
Yeah.
hard.
And then
Like Ronda Rousey shit.
as I got older, out through high school, I was working and really grinding, and my priorities changed in life. Like, the world was kind of developing around me a bit different, and like, so I'm trying to like feed my family more. Like, people sick, people have problems, you know what I mean? And you know, when you're young, it stresses you out when you can't really do it.
Mm.
You know, so I was just trying to find things that can really give me like structure in my life. Like, obviously you're paying to do this, so like there's a reason people get into it in the first place. It might be self-defense, it might be, but really it's the art and the structure for me, and just to see how far I can take it, because really, like, man, like, you can build a legacy off of that.
Yeah.
And like,
It is interesting. Jiu-jitsu seems like such a bloodline thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
like the Gracie name obviously is so widespread. Like, I don't even understand that. Like Royce Gracie, like you see Gracie gyms I feel like in every single state in the whole country. Like,
it's the lineage. So back in the 1800s,
yeah,
there was 2 judo instructors that were traveling, the originators, some of the originators of judo, the art of judo, and they were doing world tours teaching this art. When they landed in Brazil, they meshed with the people there, and it adapted into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Gracie's was one of the first families
yeah.
to adapt that and
I
receive
think,
black belts from the original judo.
That's sick.
So
So like
they,
the pioneers of
Yeah,
the sport.
so when you go to a jiu-jitsu gym, it's rare, but there's martial arts gyms that are fugazi, right? Like they don't have a lineage,
Yeah.
whether it be karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, but it's a little harder in jiu-jitsu and grappling in general because you can trace the lineage.
Yeah.
Like, so for example, at my gym, you can, my instructor got his from Mike Moses, or Moises, and he got his from Paul Sozier, if I'm not mistaken, and then that was back in Brazil.
Yeah.
So that's, that would have had to been from the Gracie line.
Yeah.
So it's not a Gracie
Yeah, that is literally the
gym
lineage.
directly.
It does matter who you get your
Who
black
you
belt
get yours from. And it's interesting because, for example, the people that are fortunate enough to get black belts at our gym, after all the years they put in, 10, 15, 20, whatever it may be,
Mhm.
6 if they're phenomenal,
Yeah.
they can open a gym and teach their students. And their lineage will always be traced back.
Mhm.
But then the art changes a little because now the original instructor has a different style. Even
Yeah.
though
He
his
was taught the same.
sensei was, he has a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's stamped on,
Mm.
but
He
his
just
style's going to be
diluted.
different. Yeah. Or it's just a little split, you know?
It could even be-
It could naturally,
It
right?
could even be
Naturally.
better.
I feel like you would
It's
almost want to
different.
bring
It's
like,
different.
yeah, with time it's hard to do, but I feel like you'd have to try to bring in other lineage camps to work with one another, right? At that point.
Do people?
Like, is there any other ones in Maryland? My bad. Is there any other ones around?
Yeah, there's Crazy 88.
I've heard that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
an
one's
MMA
good.
gym, and they do a lot of no-gi stuff there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's like very MMA focused.
Yeah, very MMA focused, and there's a ton. I should know more off the back of my head, but those are obviously like the 2 I'm very familiar with. Yeah,
Dang. So you go gi.
I like the gi.
Is it a white one?
Blue.
Blue, like a dark
Mine's
blue.
Yeah,
Sick.
mine's blue.
Then you got the white belt.
White belt.
Eventually, you're gonna have the blue belt.
Yeah. Eventually, I gotta get in my
I
bag.
was gonna say
no
blue on
belt.
blue, blue gi, blue
It's gonna be
belt.
no belt because they're not gonna be able to see it.
Do people like try to keep the same gi at all times? Or is that not a thing?
Yeah, people keep it. People keep it.
Jiu-jitsu sounds
How sweaty does it get in there?
Extremely.
Yeah, you just
Like
be
that
in that
shit.
Sound great, so-
Not necessarily.
bitch. Triangle. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Do you have a natural submission that you tend to slip into? And
Yes, yeah, I'm happy you mentioned that. Arm bars and triangles.
I wasn't
That's your shit?
I fall into those the most.
If
I'm telling you. Oh man.
I don't know how to do the arm.
Horrible angle.
Yeah, bad angle, but I had the leg locks.
Horrible angle.
Where did I throw my J?
After this, I'm gonna show y'all. Okay.
We're gonna move the table right
Yeah,
here.
you turned. You did good. You did a good job. You turned.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing, bro.
But
If I got you flat like that, boy, and just
Like, if you would've just, if I had the arm out right here, then.
like what?
you put your leg behind his head.
I was
It needs to be in front so he can go back. So if he tries to turn, you still have the ankle.
Our instructor-
Yeah, so I gotta be like this, behind, like that.
You want this? He has shoes on. I don't think we should be doing that. But
I'm not gonna.
yeah, nah.
Bruh, alright.
But you want?
we would wanna check it out.
But
That's not happening.
He asked, what do I fall into the most?
Yeah.
Triangles and arm bars, because
That was a good question, right?
yeah, all white belts have their thing. The white belts for a reason. You're a white belt for years on years for a reason.
Okay.
And if you leave your arms out, it's bound to get snatched up, especially by people that are bigger and stronger than you.
That's
How
scary.
much time are we
I
at?
never want my arm to snap.
What time?
30.
Oh, we
We're
got
doing good. You should have turned the camera.
No, it's literally.
Alright. We'll turn this thing anyways.
Turn one.
Sweet.
Alright,
So
We're
I give
live.
those up a lot. I feel like I would be a very good white belt if I didn't give those up as consistent.
What about the opposite way? Do you tend to like, I guess, find certain submissions?
I
on
like
other
gi chokes a lot.
Gi chokes?
I like gi chokes a lot.
Across the neck type shit, right?
Yeah, and I like
That's sick.
head and arm chokes. From this arm up,
Oh, so
head here,
okay, so you're putting pressure.
arm wrapped around this, and you squeeze.
Oh, so you're like choking
On
with
both
his own
sides.
arm.
Yep, and then you get the artery on this side with your bicep.
You can rear naked choke in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You
right?
can do anything.
Yeah, you can do anything.
I feel like I would just try to rear naked choke you. That's the only thing I know. I know I can get
just
someone
get
in that.
behind someone.
It's a lot harder than you think it is when you start training. Like
Yeah, once you're in
when
someone's like.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, after this, I would love to throw
we're
the shoes
going
off.
to.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll let you take my back, right?
Okay.
We can
Ooh,
start
I
in,
like
in
this.
back, and you can
alright,
you
so
can
we'll do that
fight
like the.
you can fight for a rear naked choke.
All right.
Where do you start? What
You're gonna
starting
roll
positions?
in. I mean, I'm not gonna.
What starting positions? Like I'm behind you. Am I gonna like have my hands on your waist?
You can have
Or you
a
want me,
seatbelt
like-
grip if you want. I'll let you work.
You don't
want
want
to
to start like this on the ground. Like,
Can I?
you start like this on the ground.
Yeah, you ever see how they like crawl and like sprawl to each other like that?
Yeah,
That's true.
there's a lot, man.
Are we gonna do that though?
Yeah, I mean, I never really. I like my sophomore year. I tried wrestling. I didn't even wrestle a match though. I just went to like the workouts and shit.
I was just telling my nephew that I wish
My dad was.
I wish I
I
wrestled.
My dad was a dog wrestler. He in Laurel. Like he back in the day. He
I should
he
talk
was-
to him before
yeah.
I leave.
he was undefeated in
He's cool, bro.
the state champ in the state tournament, but he placed third because he one match was a draw, but he never lost. He's like, I never lost a state tournament. He always says that. Placed third in states though. He was you know how like the lowest weight class when we were in high school was like 106 pounds. Their weight class back in the day was 98. He weighed 98 pounds. Like he would cut weight to 98 pounds and wrestle.
That's insane.
He was
Yeah.
a 98 pounder.
See, I never cut weight before.
Cut weight. I've
much
never
do you
done
weigh?
either. Cutting weight's part of it.
135.
Yeah, I'm like 145, 150.
So crazy.
I can bulk up though. I can bulk up or I can
I got
bulk down.
100 pounds on you, Denver.
You got 100 pounds on me?
Oh, well, like a 90,
90.
85, 90.
Yeah, I'm like 150, 145.
I was big freshman year. Like
Heavier.
185.
Bro, wow. My freshman year I was 100. I was like 108 pounds, 110 pounds.
Wow.
And then sophomore year after like football, like weight training, like because in high school you actually had to lift, and I was taking like protein all that shit. I got to like 135, and I was like I guess kind of more healthy weight. I was very skinny my freshman year.
My nephew's going to high school this year, and he's in like football workouts. Like,
Yeah.
He's in like preseason and shit. And I actually picked him up today.
How big is he?
He's tall, but he's very skinny.
Like how skinny? He's like a,
Very, very
so
skinny.
Like
he's gonna
a
try to play like a
receiver?
receiver. Type
Yeah,
thing?
he's gonna play receiver, but they got him in the weight room. And I mean,
Naturally.
his dad is like solid, but his dad is a personal trainer. He's been working out for his whole life.
So
But-
you think he's gonna do good? I don't know. I feel like they don't.
I don't know. I
really
mean,
make cuts
I told him.
anymore.
I did tell him this one real ass shit. You know, I'm the uncle. I gotta tell him to him straight. I was like, bro. I was like, I hope you know that. Like, I want to say probably like 60 to 70% of the other kids on that team have been playing since they were kids. He started playing like last year.
Yeah.
He's never been on a football team.
Yeah.
He started like getting into it last year. I was like, if you want to be nice, you're gonna have to outwork. You're gonna have to make up for those 7-8 years that those kids have been playing with hard work.
Yeah, especially football.
And I'm like, so you better get to it. Like,
Yeah, you gotta be hungry.
Cause I was like, don't play a fucking sport if you're
Yeah.
gonna be ass at it, bro.
Yeah, you got to make the coaches notice you. Like,
Exactly.
On some,
So
like,
I
real
told
hard
him.
work
He
shit.
tells me he looks hungry. Like he gets out of practice and goes and runs, like around the block and shit. He's like, I gotta work on my endurance.
Can I say something too, man? If I would instill anything in them, I would say not only take it serious in the terms of a sport in high school, you got to think of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
The craft of football, because there's a lot of avenues. You can go to college. They have the XFL now,
Mhm.
the NFL, the
Yeah.
USFL.
It's also a great thing.
They
to
have a
build
football
character.
bikini league.
Man, there's a lot of stuff. Even commentating, man. If you get a good enough connections, just stick to it and take it serious and respect the sport for what it is, the good and the bad.
I feel like when I was in high school, I look back at that. I look back at a lot of things right now where I'm like, man, when I was in like high school at the time, I guess I did the opposite. I took so much shit for granted. I'm like, man, like I was just so young and dumb. Like I can't be mad at myself, but I was like, I was just young.
We all were.
Yeah, it's just so funny to like look back at certain things where you're like, I don't know. It's just reflect. It's never like regret, but you're just like, man, what the fuck? I was just so dumb at the time.
Let's talk about that. Best memory with the people in these room from those days.
Bro, I would have to take it back to like
15 years old, freshman year.
Nah, not even. Like, I would either say, like, being around, like, Marks, or I would say the best memories I have from, like, around them was going to Daniel's Dam, like, our senior year and shit.
Yo, that was a good
Yeah.
time.
Were you there?
I wasn't there for that one. I saw the videos
That
back in the
shit
day.
was insane.
That was
I
a good
remember
time.
that,
That
bro.
was definitely on some like high school's over. Like you're like, you know, you felt like
I feel like back, I don't know, we weren't really doing much. Like, I feel like, it was just, like, a constant link up, bro. Like, we would link up with, like, Herman and Edward and shit, and maybe just pull up somewhere and, like, Spark or some shit.
do the stupidest shit
Dude,
too.
yeah, and just talk about the stupidest shit.
No, I mean
were,
like I feel
those
like
are, like, best memories.
I feel
for
like
real.
back in the
Just
day,
hanging.
like 15 years old, doing that type of shit. Like when you would like go smoke or something, you would do like the most hottest shit possible, thinking you're trying to be smart about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would like pull up, like I'd get in my car and like drive like 3 houses down or something. Like we sit outside like a neighborhood, like right next to my neighborhood. Just be smart.
I used to go and drive to the. I remember I used to drive like on like a joyride. Like we'd go smoke J's, but we'd drive by like Marriott's Ridge just to look at how big the houses were. Ever
Yeah,
did
those
some shit like
houses
that?
do be big.
The
Yeah.
ones past the you're talking like past the ones
Like
where you
I'm
pass
talking
Reservoir.
now, like deep, like
It's
like
in the
go all
cut.
the way up 32.
There's
type
some
shit.
OD houses past Reservoir too. I don't know.
I used to do shit.
I'm trying to. You know what's funny? Like I'm trying to think of a memory. You got
What's
one?
your memory?
I'll bring one back. It's a horrible story though. But
Let's go.
so I think it was 2 to 3 days. It might have been the second day of finals. And we had to do the finals, and then there was like something we had to do in the auditorium, something like that, because we were graduating.
Okay.
And in the morning, we had popped some Zans.
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember that?
Dog, that
Yo.
was the whole
What
the whole, what do you mean, the whole last week, the whole final
Yeah.
week, we were off
you
the
know, I-
Yeah, I might have not
Yeah.
even remembered. But
do-
no,
I
you
remember
know how I
doing
know,
that
Jan, you know how I know that's true? So
Bro,
I'm not
I was upstairs going to Daniel's Dam. That was like the same 2
Everyone was
weeks.
doing Zen.
I'm not even gonna say his name, but just because though, because we all know him. And homie, so I had what, 3 Zans one day. We each did 1.5, and then the next day I had 2 more, right? And I was gonna give him another one, but he slid me another one, so I had 2 that day, and I popped both of them.
Yeah.
Man, I was so gone, bruh. I remember zoning in and out, and then we were in the auditorium.
High school Denver. I'm just.
Yeah, it was
They're
bad,
wild,
man.
man.
If I could change that, I would. Oh man, if I could change that, I would, because really, you have to think about how crazy that is, because they could have been anything.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Especially at that time where no one was really.
No, and in
prevalent
those
about it.
days, like I was confident in like what it was, but like you could never be that sure. It's not like we were
I feel
busting
like-
out test kits.
I feel like it was actually probably more safer back then.
There- it
I mean,
was
probably
less-
now. Yeah,
That was
probably
before
now.
the
especially in
fentanyl.
this area, but
Yeah, for
Boom.
sure. Yeah, but it was crazy, man. And you can do some crazy stuff on that. Like you cannot remember.
I mean, yeah, I remember being around like babysitting people doing that shit, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I pop like half a Xan or a Xan, and then I'm drinking too, bro. What? I'm gone.
Never
You're
do.
bound to wake up and lose. You're like, where'd my fucking money go? This and that, like all type of shit.
Stealing stuff,
Yeah, that too. Just being on some like, yo, I can do this.
man.
Yeah,
That's literally it. You're just like you're just like, not doing it. I'm doing it. I'm not. You don't like ever
don't think
process
about it.
shit. You're just doing it. It
Yeah,
definitely is like a.
because you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's an intuitive I don't know. I've definitely
that was a funny ass movie.
drugs are crazy. Definitely back in high
Yeah.
school. I'm happy. I think I did just the right amount of dabbling. You know, like,
Yeah.
like I used to fuck. I always will say this and every time someone talks about like drugs, I guess, or feelings, like I remember, bro, Molly was just the craziest drug ever. Like,
It's a very, very, very crazy
Yeah.
sensation.
yeah, and it's like yeah, it's euphoric, obviously, is what people say, but it really is a true way to explain it. And I just remember back in high school doing that shit a couple of times. Like, I did that shit at prom. Both times I went to prom, I popped a Molly. Like, it popped like a
Both
0.2.
times?
Yeah, both junior and senior year popped a Molly. Like, that shit's crazy, bro.
I
Like,
took like 4 GBs on the way to prom, like in the whip, like we
Yo,
were driving.
yeah,
Yo, like we were
GBs.
driving,
GBs were a
pulling
high school thing.
GBs.
There you go. That's a
Those
high
were
school
the-
memory.
bro. And I was
Days.
looking good for prom too, bro. Oh,
Bro,
man.
you just brought back a core memory. I remember we were at Edward's house one year, like that his parents were gone.
You
for
melt
some
the
shit.
bottle cap and stick a fucking
Yeah,
ball.
the joint in it, bro. We bought we bought a 5-gallon like water, like the ones that you put on the machine.
Yeah, those are heinous.
Yeah, we got that and put like a garbage can.
Oh,
We
yeah.
filled that bitch up. It was like 5 or 6 of us. That's probably one of the highest I've ever been in my life, bro.
I don't think you can get at our age, like unless in the future they're coming out with some like new.
You're saying we're smoking some real shit.
I don't think we can achieve how we felt then.
Nah, we
Oh,
can't.
no, yeah, you're
imagine,
right.
but like imagine like an old head. Well, like nah, it will, but we're gonna be old. Cause
Yeah,
imagine,
we're gonna
like,
be old
we'll be
heads.
like a 50-year-old that cops some weed off of, say, cops some weed off of us, and he hits, and he's like, one hit, and they're like
Done,
blasted off
yeah.
to the moon.
I
That's gonna be
remember-
us.
I remember
It's gonna
like
be us.
And we're
14
smoking 34% right now.
Yeah, I remember like 14 years
Yeah,
old
that's
though.
wild.
like,
14, 15, freshman year, like I did like so dumb smack, usually like Mark's house or some shit, and I just remember it'd be like on some like so slumped him like this. But I just remember in my brain I'd be thinking, you know what I mean? Like I'm just intuitively thinking to myself, and I'm like, oh, this idea jumps to this idea, and it's like the first time I was ever like fucking with anything, right? Being like on some high shit, like, and I just remember being like, yo, this is the greatest like mindset ever. I'm thinking like this is
you could go deep.
yeah, you really could,
go
and
deep.
to the point where I feel like I couldn't do that nowadays.
Nah, but you didn't harness it back
Yeah.
then. You
Yeah.
had to like capture
Yeah,
that
was,
down
you were
on like
building the baby for your loins, like that was it.
yeah, bruh.
You were
Like
building
you
that
ain't,
character and damn. I don't know,
Man.
that's some real shit. You
Man.
fucking with conspiracy theories, Denver?
depends which ones.
Michelle Obama's a man.
No,
She's
Yeah,
thick.
he said she's thick.
You like Michelle Obama.
You said
She's
he's thick.
I didn't say that, but
Michelle Obama's cool. She did fuck our lunches up. That's something I will say truly about her that pissed
I don't
me off.
believe we
Yeah.
landed on the moon first.
Yeah, see, we said
We
that all
go
the time.
there,
Oh,
we
you
go
said
there a
first.
lot.
So do you believe? Do you believe
first.
we landed on the moon?
Okay,
Because
that's an interesting.
we used to talk about it. I progressed, but like we usually would be like, yeah, the moon landing didn't fucking happen. It was propaganda, obviously, for like the space war.
Okay, this is getting interesting.
But lately I looked into it a little further, and I'll say this, that I think people did land on the moon. At least American astronauts have landed on the moon. But I don't know. I don't know why we would have never done it again since the 70s. They say they discontinued it because one of the Apollo missions had like a really bad malfunction and people died, so they only had like a few more scheduled ahead. And they're like, after this, we're done. I feel like it's because television like could capture it, the fakeness way easier now. I don't know.
I think the original moon landing we see, I think that was fake because we were in the space race.
Yeah.
And we wanted to show that we made it first,
Yeah,
but we weren't
I
there
agree.
yet. And we knew we were behind.
Mhm.
Like in that sense. Like we knew we were
Crazy.
behind.
Yeah.
So I think we've been there. I think all that's real, but back in the day, like you could fake anything on TV, like TV
Yeah, bro.
That's
like
saying.
what is that? You can like it wasn't even, and there is a lot of inconsistencies. I know you can explain a lot of them, like with the flag and the
Mhm.
impact crater and
Yeah,
all that.
shit. I've seen that.
But then like, so you're gonna tell me people are already skeptical, and you can just explain everything away. Like we don't question most things. Like
especially back then, and just coming from like, which is so naive to say, but coming from like the federal government, which is, I mean, to me that's absurd, but people really just believe them, which is weird. You seen the press conference thing about that? Like, it was like
the UFO.
No. I'm talking about after Apollo. What was the first Apollo landing? Apollo 11 or whatever.
Apollo 1.
No, the first Apollo landing. Whatever. That one. After the first moon landing, they did like a federal, it was only recorded and broadcasted by the federal government. Like no outside media sources were allowed in. But it was the astronauts talking and they're interviewing them, and they seemed fucking like they didn't go to the fucking moon. If you ask me, like if
They
I went on the
probably just
moon, I
hit
would have
it.
been out
They're
there.
like, yeah, we
I would have been out there like,
Yeah, we completed the mission. It was a success.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we and people were like,
we
and
landed
they,
at the supposed coordinates.
and they said like, oh no, they're just anxious in front of a bunch of people. Like they're not used to television at the time too. Like cameras on them. I'm like, motherfucker, they just went to fucking space, and got back.
They
so who do you
gave them
think's
a
the
jet.
first to get there then?
Russia.
Probably.
Russia got there first.
Does Russia have any like
That would make the
documentation
most
of them on the
sense.
moon, like on televised or like recordings? I've never. I mean, I don't know. We're in America.
They
See,
had-
we're in
they had-
America, we would never
we would
see
never
that.
see
There's
that
internal
We would never
transcripts,
see that.
Yeah.
but they weren't even trying to flex it like that. That's my thing. Is like they were trying to flex on the U.S.,
Yeah.
but they weren't trying to flex on like the world per
Yeah,
se.
You watch
but, like,
Oppenheimer?
Nah,
I'm watching
you going
that
to?
tomorrow, bro.
nah.
Why not?
Why
I
not?
don't watch movies, man.
I feel like that's kind
You
of
watch
relevant to me.
Crazy, whatever the fuck.
I didn't see that. I saw the clip though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Oppenheimer was OD. I don't care.
You watched it?
Yeah, I saw it with like
I
on
mean,
the
it's
side.
not like you're ruining anything.
No, Oppenheimer was OD, and I'm just saying
we
we're
all know the history.
no, we're just talking about we were just talking about how like the federal government in a sense of manipulation of any point. Like Oppenheimer is a lot about that. It's a lot. Of
Yeah,
control.
Operation Paperclip brought.
Y'all
him
know
over.
about MK Ultra?
No, Oppenheimer is
Yeah.
actually a Jewish American dude.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. I watched the fucking movie, dude.
Okay, bro.
Oppenheimer's was not German.
He
He
a
was
Nazi.
Dominican.
He was
He was
a Jewish
Salvadorian.
dude.
Yeah, he was
bruh.
Dominican.
He was
bro.
Jewish, so
He was
whatever.
Dominican.
He wasn't a fucking German,
Dominicano.
I stamp.
but he worked with a lot of paperclip Germans. Yeah.
But exactly, bro. They're just
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, MK Ultra, they were
You
fucking,
gotta watch that shit. It was fun.
for mind control with LSD.
Yeah, LSD.
Yeah, but that's the
For
thing. The
sure.
big thing with the moon landing thing is like, yeah, they stopped doing it in like the fucking early '70s or some shit like that. It's like, brother, it's got to be because of like to record it nowadays with current technology like television, like we would just know that shit's fucking
The
fake.
moon is fake. There's a whole firmament. The Earth is flat. We live in a dome. I don't know what to tell you guys, bro. You guys
that's
just really gotta like
conspiracy-
wake up, open your third eye.
I always think conspiracy theories are just interesting because
Possibly.
like people can really believe you could like really go full
At
in
this
on
point.
conspiracy theories, but then you just become a fucking wacko. Like
No
you're
one's
just
ever
crazy.
been past the ice wall.
What about reptilians?
They live under in the deep Earth. There's deep Earth.
Checks the time.
There's deep Earth.
All right, guys.
This is the point.
It's time
where
to
we
put each
get
other in rear
killed.
naked chokes.
No, we said too much. We're gonna have to.
Nah,
Yeah.
deep Earth theory is fire.
Yeah, cut
bro.
the audio.
Yeah, we're done.
Yo,
The camera's gonna flicker and shit. Yo, but
Jake,
you
Jake,
did,
Jake.
You did bring up the press conference of the UFO shit was insane. Did y'all hear about that?
No.
That naval they had they had like some sort of hearing like about just because of the recent findings
Oh,
or releases
yeah.
of UFO shit, and there was like a naval officer under oath was like, first he was like, yeah, we have found, of course we have recovered like
Vehicles.
objects of flights that are not human made, and then they're like, do you have any like non-human bodies? And they're like, yeah. He's like, there has been biological remains that we have recovered that we can confirm are non-human.
don't say some wild.
But that
shit.
can mean that can also mean like bacteria from the moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
You
could
know-
literally mean that.
You know what's crazy about the whole aliens thing, though? I used to stamp
The
aliens.
aliens.
I used to stamp aliens were real, but now I don't think they are.
I've always been neutral.
Why is that?
Because my main thing holding me to it was this world's so big, and there's so much out there that there just has to be something else, right? Like there's just so much. But then when I think about it, I'm like, damn, you can say that and just on the same coin, be like, there's nothing else out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
no
There would be
argument.
there would be no argument either way. So my whole thing is, just as humans, I think if there was an advanced species here, coming here, they would have just ran us, just straight up like humans aren't as advanced as they think they are.
We are the aliens, bro.
Yeah, we might be.
But who's to say that alien intelligence is
Greater?
We're
How they get
greater?
here?
We come back and
Who's to say that it's greater?
out we're aliens.
if
we
you-
took
They
over this
might-
planet. Now we're just
that's-
sitting here
that's
making
fair, though.
podcasts.
Because like if you
and
think
basically-
of like an ant, like if you think of it, there's like a million ants to every human. Like if you think about it, like on the lower level, ants might kind of like run shit around here. If all the ants in the world wanted to go to war, they would literally win against anything.
and they're smart too.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like, what if alien intelligence, like, who's to say that they have like a consciousness or if anything like that? You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be greater?
Well,
I
if we're seeing these flying objects that are going in like non-human physic ways and crazy, and they're traveling to our planet, that alone, they have technology to do so.
Well,
they-
what if
They step
They
out and
could-
oxygen just kills them?
They
like,
could
"Ah!"
have really good technology, but be dumb.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I feel like if they came
Fair.
here in the first place, they came here for a reason, not just to like sightsee. You know what I mean? And then like,
If we had the opportunity to go to other planets and it became commercialized, don't you think people would do that though? We'd just
Yeah,
go,
but
"Oh,
I
look at
feel-
this,
yeah,
look."
but
we
I
look
feel-
at them like a zoo.
Yeah.
I feel like eventually though, I feel like if there was some stamped on aliens that were here, they're either well disclosed.
They're in the government.
Yeah, like it has to be. I believe in spirits though.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Spirits and all,
Energies.
like not in souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in all that.
Too. For sure.
That whole world. I
We're just
believe
a
in that.
vessel type thing. I
So
could
that's
totally believe that.
also my thing. Is like I think the Earth is special in that way because there's like another side to it that we don't see, and I can't guarantee that there's that same aspect somewhere else. And I think
Yeah,
wherever
maybe that's just our own. Like,
I feel like wherever there's life, there's that aspect.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, there's so much unknown because even maybe our own surrounding animals, even though we don't see them communicate in the same way.
Yeah,
we do.
they-
I mean, some we understand more than others. Like dolphins, we found out they're fucking nuts. They're like insanely intelligent. They communicate. Maybe we just don't know that about certain other animals. Like we just only know our own,
what if
right? But like I don't know. I guess that I don't know. It's just insane.
What if when the alien, like, say some aliens come like tomorrow, right? And say they have a religion, you think like Earth would adopt that religion? Cause like you see an advanced civilization, and you're thinking like,
You're
and they're
talking
like,
about
oh yeah,
Scientology.
this is how. No, not even Scientology.
The idea of
No, that
Scientology
is
is about-
Scientology.
yeah, it's about
Huh?
aliens gonna come.
The alien did come and dropped off
That's the ideology.
Thetans, which are souls.
Okay, so then okay. Well, I wasn't thinking necessarily like that. Like, what if they come and they're
Trying to
like,
invent a new
they're like,
Scientology.
not even they don't invent something. What if they say no? The Muslims were right. It doesn't
Oh,
have to be like a
yeah.
new thing. What if they're like, oh no, yeah, these people, like, this is the shit that the whole galaxy that I'm from follows, like, and we're coming.
Yeah, what
like,
are y'all on?
Yeah, what the fuck? Y'all not doing? Y'all don't even know how to get to the moon, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Y'all ain't doing
So
five
you
prayers
think
a
you think
day?
the Earth, like,
Where's your
you think
kufi
then? Yeah.
What's that the first thing they say? They step off the. Where's your kufi?
Yeah,
at?
yo,
Bro, what
they
is
go-
that?
they go to-
No,
They go to, like a Jewish guy, I'm like, dude, your
no,
Kufi's
there
way
ain't
too
no
small.
hijabs or kufis
Yeah.
in sight.
Y'all are protecting your
They're
fucking
confusing
head,
yarmulkes.
bro.
They're like, this yarmulke's way too. That's
They
a
just
small
pull up
kufi.
to Southeast DC and they're like, "This is more
This
like
is
it.
like-
Yeah,
this is
yeah, I
like
like
a
it.
shop.
I like this. Yeah, get some wings, some mumbo. Like they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
all
like,
right. So
D-
we might be
DC.
stamped. We're close enough to be stamped with that.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think we're straight as they come, honestly.
Based off that logic.
Yeah, based off that, I mean, I think it's good math.
Yeah, no, I just
Checks
feel
out.
like
It
it
checks out.
is
I've always-
interesting. It is interesting that like lately with those hearings and like those footages that came out by like, the Air Force that the federal government like confirmed a year ago, like, oh, that's real footage of all this alien shit. Like, why is that becoming? Because obviously they let us see what we want to see, like what they want
What
us to
they-
see.
yeah.
So why are they letting that become a public knowledge?
I'm
thing,
disillusioned with all that.
Yeah,
I
right.
plugged out.
It's so absurd.
I plugged out.
I
all
I
that.
feel that way, but like I still see it, right? I inadvertently see it.
No, like I agree with. I think there's some, like I think we should just listen to people that are like good at their craft instead of
Master
listening.
of one.
Yeah, like or a master at something. Like for example, like you're a doctor. There's some doctors that see different views or whatever it may be, but regardless, like they mastered their craft. You see what I'm saying? Not all of them, but so you can trust that, but you can. Like when it comes down to like, are UFOs real? I'm gonna trust the feds
Yeah.
to tell me, like that's a
Their
slippery
master
slope.
is controlling
Yeah.
us. That's what they're mastered in, is controlling.
Man, they can't control you if you don't let them know.
You gotta get your chakras in line.
Gotta leave out the.
Gotta
move
get
out
your
the country.
prayers good, man, because God, the real
You pray
judge,
to
the
I
real
pray.
I
ruler,
pray before I go to bed every night.
man, the real ruler, man. Like when it's all said and done, man, ain't none of this gonna matter on me. This was just a quick little stop, man. So get right.
What do you picture heaven as?
Not what most people picture it as. I think you're just absorbed into it. You're absorbed into. You're literally one with the source. You're going back to your home. So your consciousness isn't even gonna you can't even explain
You
that.
can't. Yeah, it's not.
You're
Gonna
just
be
gonna be
anything.
an eternal. You're gonna be good forever. You're eternally.
Sometimes, I love like nature and shit, and like I feel like the biggest. I feel like if there's anything that points to God, it'd be nature, like the actual like beauty of like the world type shit, like on some
Yeah.
gay shit. And I
That
think
is-
of that, and I feel
that is
like
gay.
sometimes I think I'm like, damn, like maybe that's what like, like what heaven is where you're just like, you're just like part of the, like you just are the
Yeah.
beauty of like
That's a good,
the world.
good
So
intuitive
you're not living,
question.
you're not in this body, like you're just like part of like what you're saying, like with the creator, what the creation is. Type
Yeah.
shit. You're just it.
That's a good intuitive question. I don't know, I feel like if I had to answer it, I'd be like, I just think of it more of like.
Well,
like
you don't
said,
worry. You don't worry about it, buddy. We know where you're going.
When you
Oh,
talk
man.
about when you talk about consciousness earlier and shit, like that's really what it is. Like everyone has their own conscious or energy, whatever their soul. I feel like when a good example of that is when you are in a deep sleep, like I was talking about earlier, like dreaming. I could see that like as an example of like you're not it's not your physical awareness, it's all mentally like consciousness. So maybe like the afterlife, at least temporarily,
It's
you
like a
still
dream.
have that ability to capture like I don't know.
You'll capture it.
Yeah,
but
and then maybe it fades.
But you
We
won't
can't
even,
know-
you
we
won't
can't
even
ex-
capture it in your thought.
you
It'd be
can't
your
capture it here
A lot-
because
yeah.
we can't wrap our mind around
Yeah.
how good that's gonna be.
That's what
You
I'm
hear a
saying.
lot of people say people who like temporarily died. A lot of people have gone out like wrote books and shit. A lot of times though they do say though, a very common one's like, oh my life, like I seen a quick journey almost like as a dream. Like I saw this, I saw lights going to it, and then they came back too. Like, but maybe that's what it is. Like you kind of have
Anybody
you gotta
can
have a
just write that
dream.
book.
You have like a dream real fast.
How do you check up on like how do you? I can just write that book.
Yeah.
And just publish it and just be I almost died, bro.
Let's do it. Let's chat GPT a couple books and just post them out and see how much money we make.
That would be a smart business idea.
Yeah,
You use ChatGPT?
I have. I'm into crypto. I like crypto.
I've held on to like some Bitcoin.
Does
for,
it
like,
tell you
3
what to
years
buy?
now.
Nah,
Isn't
I've been
that
in the
smart?
crypto game since like 2019, or so. I wouldn't trust it.
I bought Bitcoin when it was at like 30,000 or like 17,000. It went up to like 60 something, 64,000. Now it's what like 25.
You had a whole Bitcoin?
I had 0.1.
Point
I still have 0.1.
0.1.
Yeah.
I have a pretty diverse portfolio on this
Yeah, all I
thing.
have is Bitcoin. Yo, all right. It's time for you to choke out Daniel.
Nah, let's do it all. I'm telling you. I'll show y'all.
Let's do it.
What we're gonna do? We can do it on camera.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, do you want to or no? It's up to you, dog. It's your craft.
I
We don't
want to
wanna-
be a good representative.
Okay.
All
We
right.
don't have to do it. What we'll do is
No,
at
we're
the end
doing
we're
it.
just gonna
He
put.
said, "No, we're
We're
doing
doing
it."
it, bro. Let's move this shit.
Denver just said he didn't want to be a good representative.
He all-
He
You
is
know-
a good representative.
You know what I'll do?
You can't force him to do
I'll
something that's so crap.
I'll give you my back and I'll walk you through the rear naked choke, so you can get a good rear naked choke. A white belt level rear naked choke.
Bet. That's all I need, bro.
All right, guys. I'm gonna do the camera.
Shoes off.
Wait, but I have staff. Is that okay?
You have staff?
Staff and
Nah, it's not okay.
He rubs his body in hazelnut cream.
I
Yeah, I
just
forgot.
drink hazelnut. Can I breathe on you?
Yeah. So let's just do it from this position.
All right. Sure. Come on.
Yeah. So get behind me. Nah, don't do all that.
Like this?
Yeah. Or so you could be on your knees, but the problem with that is you would have to have a firm base. So you wanna sit like this and roll your hips up like this, because if you're up like this, like
Uh-huh.
lean up like this, and I move you this way,
Yeah,
which
it's
way you
easier.
moving? You're gonna roll with me.
Yeah.
So you need to be sturdy. So get into a position where, see,
Okay.
I can't just push you over, right?
All right.
Then take this hand. This is the choke hand. You're right-handed,
Yeah.
so this will go under.
Uh-huh.
You see how your biceps
Yeah.
there, and then that goes over.
Can I
and
put
then-
you to sleep?
No,
Oh, damn.
absolutely not. And then this goes over this way. Clamp it down.
And then
Yep. And
I lock
squeeze.
on both.
Squeeze.
I don't want to squeeze you, bro.
Come on.
How hard?
You would get in there.
He tapped, bro. Relax.
I didn't feel him tap, bro.
Yeah, it was a light tap.
Oh,
But
okay, bet.
yeah, for real.
Daniel.
Armbar me.
Nah.
Come on, like
I actually don't have a good arm bar. I'll be honest with you.
What's your best?
I wish he had a gi on so you could gi choke.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want a gi, but
All right,
also
put me to sleep.
put you to sleep.
Yo, knock Daniel. If you put. This is so dumb. Like, put Daniel to
Nah,
sleep.
don't actually put me to sleep.
Yeah,
I'm
well.
a tap. Go. Yeah, go.
Sleep.
Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit up their socials. Plug y'all socials if you wanna.
Tell y'all plug.
Yeah,
We
man.
love when plugs watch the show.
Spread love, man. Fear God.
Tip your plugs too.
Yeah, fear God. Live a good life.
Amen. Josh, you want to say something?
Josh just passes out.